you all are having a gala time at your places. You people are quite lucky that you people are getting chance to study from home. And here I would like to before start the session, I would like to thanks our President Sir, Professor Dr. Kamal Kansala, to give us this amazing opportunity. And the management told us to look at this matter not as a challenge but as an opportunity. And by this, I think we will be keeping up with the learning and teaching process for you students. Here, I would also like to thanks Professor R.C. Pandey sir, our Dean Hotel Management, to have faith in us and to give us a green signal to go with this live teaching session for you people. Right. So today I am here for you students, and we will be talking about pasta. This session is divided into two parts. In first part, we will be doing some introduction about pasta. We will be discussing the importance and the history of pasta, and then we will be in the first session only, we will be going through the cooking process, how we boil the pasta and how we cook the pasta. So this is how we will do the thing in the first session, and then in the second session we will be cooking a few dishes of pasta, right? So be with me, and we will be having fun in this session, right? So student, when we talk about pasta, pasta is, as we all know, it is a very generic staple from Italy. And when we talk about origin of pasta, there are so many stories about it. Some people say that pasta came from China, and Marco Polo was the one who bought pasta from China in the 17th century. But there are other school of thoughts also who say that a place called Sicily in Europe, they had pasta from a way back. And there is one other story that says that pasta came along with the Arabic people who came to Europe, for invasions and all. So there are so many stories about the history of pasta, and there is no guideline, or there is no proof that where the pasta came from. But when we talk about Marco Polo, yes, we people know that Marco Polo, he gave the pasta something very special, and that is sauce. So before the Marco Polo thing, there was no sauce, and pasta used to served as a side dish, and it was served as an accompaniment, and there was no sauce along with it. But when Marco Polo, he came straight from China, so he introduced two things. One is the sauce. So they started making sauce, and they started serving pasta with a sauce. And second thing, he started the bulk production, or you can say the industrial production of pasta. As we all know that pasta and noodles are somehow similar. So if you talk about noodles, yes, noodle is also a type of pasta, but when you people ask that what is the difference between a noodle and pasta, there is something, there is a major difference. Generally, pasta is prepared from as the semolina of durum wheat. So durum wheat is a special type of wheat that got extra strength of holding water. But on the other hand, noodle is something very basic, and it is made with refined flour. So this is the major difference when we talk about pasta and noodles. Secondly, when we discuss the types of pasta, there are two varieties of pasta. One is the fresh pasta, and second is the dried pasta, like these. So these are the industrial used pastas, and these are dried, and these are having a greater shelf life. But on the other hand, when we talk about the second type of pasta, it is a freshly made pasta, in which what chefs do, they take egg, they take refined flour, and then they mix it together, and then they make pasta out of it. Not refined flour, but they take durum wheat semolina, and with egg, and they make pastas out of it. So these two types of pasta are there. One is the thing I told you, and secondly are these things, that is industrial made. This is made without egg, because adding egg to the pastas will certainly, what it will do, it will it will lower the shell life of the pasta, and for industrial use we need pasta with more shell life, right? So this is how we have two varieties of pasta. So students, we will start our session with boiling some pasta, or we can call it cooking some pasta, right? For cooking some pasta, what we need is some water, and in the case of pasta we need plenty of water. Like the ratio is 1:10. So if you are using 100 grams of pasta, you need to have 1 liter of water at least, right? Here I am using almost 150 grams of pasta, and with me I have around 1.5 liter of water, right? So what I have done, the water is piping hot. It started boiling. So we need to put the pasta in when the water starts boiling, and we use a term called bubbly boiling, right? So it started bubbling. At that time we need to put our pasta in. Now we need to season the water first. So we need to add a lot of salt. So I am adding salt. You can add plenty of salt, because this is the time where you can actually season your pasta. If you boil your pasta without salt in water, your pasta will be bland. No matter how salty your sauce is, your pasta will be without salt if you don't add salt at this moment, right? I have added a good amount of salt. Now what I am adding is, I am adding a dash of oil, so that my pasta doesn't stick to each other. You can just stir it so that it doesn't stick to each other. So when we talk about pasta, as I told you, that pasta is a very famous staple from Italy, and then the student asked that why pasta is so, it is one of the favorite. So pasta is one of the favorites from all over Europe, I can say, because pasta got some qualities. Number one thing is pasta. When we talk about earlier time, pasta was cheap because it used to come from wheat, and wheat was not regarded as a very expensive grain. Secondly, the availability was good because wheat was it was harvested in good quantities in Europe. Secondly, the very important thing is pasta. Pasta was a source of starch, and it was available. Due to its shell life, it was available throughout the year. So whatever the season is, you can consume your pasta. There was no problem in it. And the third and very important thing is pasta is very versatile, right? As I told you, you can serve pasta as a separate dish. You can serve pasta as an accompaniment to a dish. You can serve pasta as a complete meal in itself. So the versatility was there. That's why pasta was so famous in Europe, and then it came to America, and from America, the mac and cheese, the macaroni served with cheese, has given it a new dimension. इसकी तरफ भी focus कर देना. So our pasta is getting done here, and it will take some another minutes. So while cooking pasta, we need to keep something very important in mind, that we have to cook our pasta till the al dente stage. Now you'll ask, what is al dente? Al dente is an Italian term for to the tooth. It means there has to be some bite in the pasta. Your pasta should not be 100% cooked, because if you'll cook it till the 100%, if you will cook your pasta to the 100%, what will happen? It will become messy, and when you will again cook it in the sauce, it will start dissolving into the sauce. So the pasta dish becomes very unpleasant. So all the chefs will advise you to cook your pasta till al dente, and al dente stage it comes around 8 minutes. When you come the pasta in boiling water for 8 minutes, that is the time you get that al dente stage. So it's almost 8 minutes. I will just check my pasta that it is done or not. Oh yes, it is perfectly al dente. This is the right time where I will remove my pasta from the hot water. What we need to do, that we need to drain it very fast, because if you will keep it like this for a longer period of time, the pasta will keep cooking. So you need to rinse it very fast. So once your pasta is done, what I will do, I will just drain it. Guys, this is a makeshift arrangement, right? So don't expect quality like a professional kitchen. We are doing it this thing from our homes, and I think this is something new people are doing, and this is something very challenging for us people, but we people are learning a lot. Not only hotel management, but I think all of the courses from our university, the Graphic and the University, all the faculties are doing their level best to teach you people, and to keep the learning and teaching process intact. So as you can see, we have strained our pasta in running cold water. Right. So what next you can do, if you are keeping the pasta for some time else, or you have cooked pasta for later use, you can just drizzle some oil and you can keep it like that, because it will stick to each other if you will keep it for a longer time without oil. But if you are cooking it straight away, you are cooking sauce along and you want to put the pasta straight into it, then you don't have to add oil. Okay. So I'm just drizzling some oil. What I will do, we'll just mix it well so that the pasta is coated with some oil and it will not stick to each other. So students, I hope now you come to know that how pasta is cooked and what are the standards of cooking pasta, right? So I will be catching you up in the next session. Thank you. Right students, now we know how to boil your pasta or cook your pasta, and we are already through with boiling the pasta. Now the second session is dedicated for cooking some varieties of pasta, and we will start with an all-time favorite, and that is called cooking pasta in sauce arrabbiata. So we'll be using penne pasta here, and as you can see I have a few varieties of pasta. I'm using penne pasta and we will be cooking it in this sauce arrabbiata. What arrabbiata means is, arrabbiata literally means angry, and angry why? Because the arrabbiata sauce is really spicy. So we will be using varieties of we will be using chili flakes, as well as we will be using chilies also in making that sauce with some tomatoes. So let's start making that pasta. So what we need for making this arrabbiata pasta is some red chilies. So I have taken some really spicy red chilies and I'm just slicing them down, right? So you need actually a good amount of chilies, but whenever you are cooking it in a professional kitchen, you need to check with the chef that what kind of spice level you want to go for, right? If you want its pasta to be very spicy, you can use extra chilies. And what next is some sliced garlic. So I'm just slicing down some garlic. Garlic is the heart of continental cooking and European cooking. As when we talk about Indian cuisine, we use a lot of ginger, we use a lot of garlic. But when we talk about European cuisine and especially Italian cuisine, they go for a lot of garlic in their dishes. So I have chopped a good amount of garlic and red chilies. Now we will start the cooking. Students, my pan is hot now and I have added some olive oil into it. Now what I am doing is I am adding my garlic and the red chilies that was with me. So we need to cook the garlic till the time it is very lightly brown. We don't have to overcook garlic here. Once the garlic becomes brown, it actually steals the taste. So when our garlic will be little brown, we need to just add the tomatoes. So as you can see, the garlic are already done, and as I told you, we don't have to overcook it. What I am doing here is I am adding some blanched tomatoes here. So these are basically blanched tomatoes, and when I say blanched tomatoes, doing the blanching is very easy. You need to take some bubbling hot water. The tomatoes, they need to just given a cross cut from the other side, and then you need to boil it. You have to blanch it for around 1.5 minutes, or you can say 90 seconds in piping hot water. And then after 90 seconds you just remove them and just drain them in running cold water, and you can just keep them in cold water. So what it will do, it will remove the skin automatically, and then just remove that skin and cut them into half, de-seed them, take out all the seeds because it doesn't go very good in the sauce. and then roughly chop them. So this is how I have done the tomatoes here. So we are cooking the tomatoes here. Now some seasoning is required. For seasoning, what we need is some freshly crushed black pepper, right? Don't use that powdered black pepper because it actually has no taste. So we need to have a fresh crushed black pepper here. I think this is good enough. Then what we need is some more chili, some chili flakes to make it real arrabbiata, or you can say real spicy. Like I have added the chili flakes also. You need to cook the tomatoes till the time they're cooked and they're like very pulpy and they become very soft, because we have just blanched the tomatoes for 1.5 minutes, so these tomatoes are still raw. So our tomatoes are already done. Now we can add some herbs. Here I have some fresh leaves of basil. I'm just roughly chopping them. Basil and tomato is a great combination. You will see so many dishes where there is some tomatoes and some basil. You can see we have a lot of tomato soups with fresh basil. We have some chicken dishes that says grilled chicken and tomato and fresh basil sauce. So this combination goes very well. Tomatoes are nicely done. At this point I can again season it a little bit with some parsley. Using fresh parsley is always great, but at the time of lockdown and when we don't have much of things available, whatever is available you can use it. There is no problem at all. You can see the lovely color of arrabbiata. Now just to improve the consistency of the sauce, we need something liquid, so you can use a little bit of tomato puree. So I'm using a ready-made tomato puree. You want to use it or you want to skip it, it is on you. It will just give a body to the sauce, and the pasta we are using, the penne, it will be nicely coated with the sauce. Okay, we are almost there. The only thing missing here is salt, so finally I am adding some salt. As you can see, it is very basic, very simple recipe, but this is one of the hot favorites among people. And cooking penne in arrabbiata is no big deal. Okay, we are through with the cooking, I suppose. Now we'll just add some pasta to it and we will finish this up. I'm adding some pasta. What else I need is, I'm using some black olives to give extra bite to the pasta. This is again optional. The authentic arrabbiata recipe, it doesn't ask for olives, but if you have, there is no issue at all. You can use these olives. A dash of Parmesan cheese, and you are all set. So our pasta is ready. Now this is hot also, so this is the right time when you can just serve it to the table. So your pasta dish is ready. Just before serving, just sprinkle some more cheese on the top, and here you go.